Hey, this is Rebecca and Tanya, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about I've been learning about the Tanya, which is a very, very, very mystical, wonderful, deep, very deep, work, and very deep, very deep, deep work. And so I've been studying. One of the things I have been studying is that, and so to have a more of a spiritual, more deep, um, more deep spiritual life, more, I guess, more fulfilling life, and that's hence the reason well, actually, one of the reasons why is like ever since Miriam Yoshami, it was introduced by her, and to this, to this work, to these books, um, and it's been amazing. So I'm gonna share with you guys. I share a screen with you guys. Hey, sweetheart. Hi. Hi, Esther. So I'm gonna, okay, minimize a bit and I'm going to share with you guys a share screen. Oh, it doesn't let me share screen. Sorry, guys. So, um, so anyway, so what I was actually, I think I'm gonna post it later when I upload the document. It was like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Um, you know, um, a beautiful PowerPoint presentation that I did, and it was really nice. I'm gonna be uploading that, and on my page, I think I'm gonna be uploading it here on Jewish Partially Magazine. And so I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if it fixes it or not, because it's like kind of difficult. Um, it's Daily Tanya is countries acharon me'ol b'esei four. So so it says here. But let us understand how an etrog, which arises from the 288 sparks that have not yet been purified, since its physical fruit derives its life force from Kalipa Noga, it contains some element of the 288 sparks of Tohu, which have not yet been elevated to divinity. So I do, like, for me, a comparison of the etrog. You know how the etrog is like, it's in its peel is kind of hard, like even hard to cut through, and I need to have to be quiet. I'm doing a video. So, this is real life. I'm a mother. I have kids. So, so I was saying, so the extra has, its peel, it's covered. It's covering it is really hard. So, when we do not have the mitzvahs, and we're not doing that when our spiritual life is close to null, and when our spiritual life is not even there, and we're not acknowledging it, we don't really have a relationship with Hashem, we mainly secular, that peel, that cover, it's extremely hard to break through. It's extremely hard to peel off. So what the mitzvahs do, the let's say, quote unquote, the positive, the prohibitions, and the positive mitzvahs, or what Hashem tells us that we can do, it acts in a way as a win-win situation. I was trying to do like a Zoom video, and for some reason it didn't record. I'm pretty new to Zoom, so I'm sorry for that. So that's why I did the live right now. And so anyway, so the positive and negative mitzvot, the prohibitions are mainly there for our own good, obviously. It gives us like the footprint of what we should not be doing. And the positive mitzvot per se, what is permitted by Hashem, it gives us like the footprint of what we should do. So both sides, it's just is to make our life easier. A way of Hashem showing love for us, and so deep that He wants us to say, here, son or daughter, here's the way that you should be going, and here's the path that should be taken. If you want to be closer to me, if you want to take the path towards me, these are the steps you should be taking. These are the mitzvot you should be doing, and this is like, you should not be doing this because it will take you away from me. So think about it. Think about the fact that it's like such a deep, deep thing and such you know, a deep sorry, such a deep thing and such a deep teaching that that shows us the depth of love of Hashem for us. So when we, another sense, when we perform a mitzvah, let's say the simplest, one of the simplest, most known mitzvahs, when we say, when we're in Shabbat and we're about to say the bracha for, you know, for the challah, if you think about it, the bread is just the bread. The challah bread is just the bread, right? When we choose to say a bracha, when we used to choose, when a woman know we do say, you know, uh, in the bracha for the challah, and you know, bless it. In that moment, we elevate something that is physical, something that is mundane, and we elevate it to the next level. We elevate it to divinity. We bring those sparks of divinity of Hashem. We bring it in a moment into this world, in a moment so special as Shabbat. So imagine that one little layer of the etrog is peeled off in that moment. So every time when we do a mitzvah, I'm saying a mitzvah not automatically. I'm saying a mitzvah with a kavanah, with intention. Because if we say that we believe in something, if we say that we're teaching and we're showing, like, we talk about, let's say, for example, meditation, we talk about like any kind of subject that we're teaching, if they're within a Jewish framework, if we do not show like like the basic would be love and kindness, if we do not show compassion for others, if we do not show an example that we should be doing, it should be that example toward others, even if the other person is another Jew, but they're not in our circles, or even if a Jew that, you know, what is, they're not like, well, we're not like, what we say, when it's Sephardic and when it's like Ashkenazim, doesn't matter. So if we do not show that kindness, if we don't show that toward other Jews, even non-Jews, doesn't matter, then the mitzvahs to me become null. What you're saying that, yeah, you're teaching, you're not doing. So an action, a mitzvah, an action to that you're saying that you love Hashem, and then yet you show unkindness to others, then in actuality it becomes meaningless. So Hashem wants us to show kindness to Jews, non-Jews, people who are Christian, people who are Muslim, people who are any religion, doesn't really matter. He wants us to be that example of light, will bring those sparks into life, to that, you know, to life, to bring that into this world, to teach others what the sparks of Hashem in us, how does that transpire? How does that play out on a daily basis? So anyway, and the Tanya is making an analogy of the process of sowing and planting. For instance, like sowing the planting of the etrog. So imagine this: the soil. The soil. There's two options here. The soil can be fertile or infertile. So if, let's say, if the soil is not fertile, which means if you're doing like the mitzvot, you're doing them, but they're like automatic to you. They are like something that you just do, that it's just part of your life and it doesn't have any meaning really. You just do it because it's just automatic. And you're planting a seed, of course, because it's commendable. You're doing a mitzvah, but it doesn't really grow as it should, because the mitzvah is just automatic. It's not an actual meaning to it. There's no actual kavanah or intention on it. There's like, let's say, there's no fertilizer in it on your soil. So it's like, on the other hand, if you have your soil that is fertile, and you add, like, the fertilizer to it, which would mean that the fertilizer is intention, the kavanah you put on the seed of the mitzvah seed when you plant it in your soil, and it opens up and it sprouts for you. So, and that when it sprouts, it brings you closer, a step closer to Hashem. From the moment that you decide to study a mitzvah, from the moment that you make it a fruition, you make it an action, because when we study something, it gets to our thoughts, our mind, and everything that we think about, and then it's like you're planting the seed in your mind, and after that, when the seed is planted on your mind, then it becomes, you speak of it, and after you speak of it and make it conscious, then it goes down. I think it becomes down as well. It becomes a feeling. It becomes a feeling of being close to Hashem. And when you bring that closer to Hashem, you're also, what we're talking about before, you're also planting bricks. You're planting your bricks of protection, spiritual protection. And then when it's time, when it's a quote unquote tested per se. If when you, for example, you're encounter somebody, and then that person out of nowhere just starting like, talking bad to you or berating you, and if you have that spiritual protection, and if you have that knowledge of the mitzvahs and the Torah knowledge, then it will be easier for you to retract those negative feelings and those negative thoughts and make the action you're supposed to be doing according to what Hashem is teaching. Hence the importance, how important it is to study Torah, and how important it is when you study it, you bring it to fruition and you make it fertile. All of this, it's only to bring you a step closer to Hashem, and to bring you a step closer to Hashem's essence, to make His essence, His will, your own. That makes a whole lot of difference in your spiritual life. If it's just grabbing your sitter and then you're just reading and you just like davening, but there's no actual kavanah or intention, and you're just doing it because it's something that I have to do every day, it is commendable, but still it's gonna plant the seed that should be planting with the fertilizer that should be planted with. That's very, very different. So, and I will go to the next page I was talking about, because I've been doing a lot of studying. So anyway, so it's saying something very important here as well. The seed, it says here, the seed stimulates the power of growth within the soil, which is God's command, let the earth sprout forth in fruit trees. So if you think about it, if you really meditate on it, how strong it is Hashem's commandment that in that moment He says, let the earth sprout forth in fruit trees. If He does that for like the vegetation, if He is like He's giving that order to the earth to sprout, how much more so for our lives, for the human soul, for the neshama, how much more He wants our neshama to grow. Imagine that the depth of that command. He wants our neshama to grow, our minds to grow, but our minds to grow within the grounds of His blueprint, which is the Torah and the mitzvahs that come with it. So, so what it stimulates the power of growth, as we mentioned and have it saying over and over again, is the study of the Torah, with intention. The study of the Torah with intention, not in an automatic way, but with intention, which makes a whole lot of difference. Like I always keep saying it, and I'm sorry if I'm becoming like a broken record. So anyway, it says here also, the seed whose source is within the power of growth serves as an arousal from below, from the recipient below to the benefactor, which is us. Although the seed that is planted can in no way compare to the power of growth, it can nevertheless arouse its power from this is its source. Okay, the source is Hashem. Hashem and his power, his sparks, his Torah is what gives the power for our growth. It makes it arise. It makes it gets the layers peeled off. It gives us. It also gives us the protection that we need. It gives us everything that we need to sustain ourselves spiritually. Everything that we need to sustain ourselves. That way we can get closer to Him. And if we do not, if we study, making it to, we don't bring the fruit. We don't bring it to fruition. Then the mitzvah on the study, whatever you say you read, it becomes meaningless. So let's keep going. It says here, in this manner, the portion of Tefillin and the etrog of the four species arose into the loftiest of levels. This is the name Sa'ak, which precedes, it transcends the shattering of the vessels. And then it says here, which is the very essence of the lights of Adam Kadmon. As explained above, Adam Kadmon is the first visage and thought of the infinite light that encompasses all of the creation. Here is to be found the essence of the visage and not merely a radiation. Thus, the divine name Sa'ad relates to the essence of illuminations of Adam Kadmon. So, imagine this. Adam, he had such a closer relationship with Hashem. They interacted like it was like father and daughter, son and father. I'm sorry, son and father, and they had such a pure relationship with each other. And so I do believe that Adam, he was in the highest levels of in terms of spirituality, like close to Hashem, and it's something. It's an example of something that we should be aiming for, not just asking Hashem for something, but I do believe that it's far more meaningful, far more deeper in a sense, that if we thank Him instead of asking first. If we thank Him first, what we already have, because the very moment that we open our eyes, it's a miracle. The fact that we can have the chance to have another chance to open our eyes and have a closer relationship with Him, that of in itself, it shows how much Hashem loves us and how much He wants us to be closer to Him. He brings the world. He brings life. Without Him, there's no life. There's nothing without Him. So He loves us so much that He gives us His light. He gives us the light to this world, and He does that every single day, the moment that we wake up and open our eyes. Because, as I have mentioned it before, hold on a second, guys. I need to get it's gonna shut off. And this is important. So, as I have mentioned before, life can change in a matter of seconds. It can change when you least expect it. One of the things that it makes us not serve Hashem how we should do that. It's when health is taken away. One of the things that we do not just take for granted the most is our health, because we just go in automatic. But if we take that day, that second chance, if we truly take it, and we decide, like I was mentioning in a previous video, and to live your life to the fullest, which means live your life to the fullest in terms of I'm going to take this day and live as close as I can to Hashem and study and learn His Torah, even if it's just a paragraph, but in such a way that I'm giving it my everything. I give it my whole intention in that precise moment. I'm giving my whole intention to Hashem. And live your life to the fullest in terms of I'm going to bring light and good into this world as much as I can. I'm going to bring light to the first thing and foremost into my family members, my children, my husband, my friends. I mean, it doesn't matter, Jews and non-Jews, whoever I counter a supermarket. I'm going to bring light into this world. Because that, at the end of the day, is the product of you performing the mitzvahs and what is actually you benefiting you. You're the benefactor of that. And that's what Hashem wants us to benefit from that. But He just not only wants us to benefit from it, He wants us to give back what we were given. So because if we receive the mitzvahs and if we just something that we'll learn and we do not give back that precious gift, how is there a point for a mitzvah if we're not going to do that? How is there a point of Hashem giving us if we're not going to bring fruit from it? There's no point, is there? So, and then we're going to keep going here. So, let me go here. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other part, which is over here. And so, it says here, the Alter Rebbe will not point out the superior quality inherent in the very service of action-related mitzvot, in comparison to intellectually generated love and awe. For the direction of the latter form of divine service is merely elevation, chalach, which causes a corresponding elevation of the light above. The ultimate intent of creation is fulfilled not by this, but by the practical commandments, for their function is the drawing down hashachach of divinity to a state of revelation in this world below. Besides all of those, i.e., all the above-mentioned ways in which the action-related mitzvot are superior to its intellectually aroused love and fear, there is yet another superior quality to the practical mitzvot. So, although the mitzvot supposed to also bring that awe, love and awe for Hashem. Because imagine this, that He, like I was mentioning before, He created those mitzvot, even the ones that are not they're not, done today, they're not applicable today. He created those as well. And when we study those mitzvot that are not even applicable for today, we're showing Hashem, we're telling Him how much we cherish Him, how much we want to know Him, that we're even studying mitzvot that are not applicable for today, how much we want to be closer to Him, that we're studying every single little thing we can to be closer to Him. And for that to apply it into and bring it to our neshama and bring it into fruition. So, and actually, Rebbe Senior Yerushalmi made this note, which, I mean, it was beautiful. I think it's beautiful and a very practical thing. She says, because I have a group with her, and I have been so incredibly blessed with having her, in my life. So anyway, it says here, spotlight on Tanya, just do it. The doing is a doing. The action-oriented deeds are a superior quality in comparison to intellectually generated love and of God. Doing action-oriented mitzvot is the ultimate intent of creation, and not by emotion alone. The practical commandments function is to draw down infinity to a state of revelation in this world below. Reach new heights by doing it. So, what Rabbi Tanya Shalom is trying to tell us, or tell this group, or tell us, everybody, now that you bring, as I was mentioning, when you bring something into action, into fruition, Hashem, the purpose of, one of the main purposes of the mitzvot, even the practical ones, is to bring it into fruition, to actually do them. And so, it says here, and then these are in a superior quality in comparison to intellectual love and all of Hashem. Not just about intellectually, like learning about Hashem, it's enough. Like intellectually, what you're reading, it's not enough. You're reading about Him, yes. You're reading the mitzvahs, yes. You're studying the mitzvah, yes. All that's commendable. All of it's commendable. But as I was mentioning before, you can develop. Well, when I want to mention that, you can develop an intellectual and all for Hashem. But and like you think that you love him because you learned this, because you read him, that's what you've been told. But obviously, if you don't transfer that, you just think you just like you're learning and it's automatic. If there's no actual intention, it's just it becomes a bit more complicated to have a closer relationship with him. Um, obviously that what was mentioning before, did you have to study, you get to know again, you need to get to know Hashem in order to know who he is, because the only way you can establish a relationship between, for example, the father and daughter, or son or father, is if you get to know him. If you, because we were babies, we got to know our parents, and that bond grew. I think it works the same way with Hashem. When we get to know him, and then that's how we get to know him. That's how we come closer, if we're going to get to know him. That's how love grows and sprouts, when we study who he is and when we read who he is. But the key lies, I think, when you do it with, not because in a conscious way, not because it's something that you should be doing, but because it is something that you want to do. You're taking that decision to do it in a conscious, responsible way, and because it's deep ingrained within you, and you're taking that prerogative and taking that step and say, today and every single day of my life, I want to get to know you, Hashem, with everything I've got, because I'm grateful that you give me life and provide me life and everything that I need, a roof over my head, and everything that I need, so I can be closer to you, so that I can have a relationship with you. That is something that it's so beautiful and so worth waking up for. And so especially when, like I said before, when you see yourself in complicated situations, the one of the most difficult ones is when our health is taken away. That's one of the hardest trials that a human being goes through. When that goes taken away, and you're actually cherishing what is most important in your life, and it is not what you have, like materially wise. It is what, you think about absolutely everything. You meditate on absolutely everything you've done in your life. And it's not the material. It's what you've done. Your actions, what you did, what you have studied, what you think of Hashem. The first thing comes into your mind is Hashem. And how much of a good daughter or son you were, or you are. So Guys, concentrate on peeling off those layers. Dig hard, as much as profound as you can. Dig until you open up that divine essence and those sparks, and let them shine through. Let them light up the sky. That's exactly what you should be doing. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and it will be uploaded on, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm trying to work on it. I have a lot to do. I'm working with a rabbits and trauma in a lot of projects, and one of those projects is actually it's on a process of approval. I just finished to help her organization called SANE, and it brings free social services to people affected, psychologically because of COVID. They do wonderful work, and it's all free. So I did this journal for saying business planner. I'm sorry, and it's a process of approval, and those and whatever it's like the earnings part is gonna go for her organization, and I'm so happy for that. We're gonna be creating many, many, many new wonderful projects, and Baruch Hashem. So take care, everybody. And if you didn't watch the whole video, you can always go back, and it will be uploaded on the YouTube channel, and it will be shared all over the place. So, guys, do not let your light be, erased ever. Let the Hashem's light that becomes your light, and let it shine. Let it shine like the sun. Do not let it go. It's the most precious thing you've got in your life that it should be kept and fought for always. Okay? Love you all, and take care, okay? Have a great, great, great Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye.